Somebody jumped on the line, but he bit it in his side of his cheek. Crazy guy. Nice sized white bass. Oh man, that treble hook got him good. And of course, I don't have a towel. Well, I guess that's going to be the picture. Got the fish finder going. We might have to relocate it. And we're just using wax worms off the bottom. So, one out of something. That wasn't too bad. Work drama. So we always have to get going. So the early gist of it is broke people, including myself. The dealership tried to get me. They wanted 3 grand to do a brake change. I'm like, you guys are nuts. So my poor vehicle's been in there a few times, so they know me by my first name. And so I always try to figure out how to work the system. And these are drums, so they got shoes. And I go, how hard can it be, or how much money could it be? I think we got the floating spiders crawling in my ear. I go, how hard can it be to get that going? And let's see if I can scoot you back a little bit. There we go. We're more of a scenic since there's not much going around. So anyway, went to Napa, priced out all the relevant parts. It was under $500. I go, where did you come up with the 3 grand? And then they backtracked. Oh yeah, we added this on, and we just. I'm like, there's not too many parts in that back thing. And how much do you want for this? And how much do you want for that? So it was hilarious. So I got it down, hopefully, to under $800. When you get your warranty on your vehicle, is brand new, make sure it has the rental car, which they got me on the. Ooh, there might have been one right there. They got me on the initial start of it. I go, give me the best warranty you got. 5 grand. Holy smokes. Oh, there might be something chasing it. 5 grand. And I go, holy cow, let's do it anyway. So we got it. I think with a fuel pump. What else do we do? That was about 2 grand, maybe a little bit more. And I think with this brake job, it paid for itself. Oh, we had someone nudge it using a wax worm and a small spoon. What was that? Oh, it's a company that's pretty famous. I should know it by now. A slender spoon. There we go. We got the slender spoon on. Oh, there was a fish down there. Not marking too many. Put on a wax worm. Doing pretty. Looks like nobody's catching, so I guess I'm doing all right. Yeah, imagine if a senior. I always see this over at Jiffy Lube. Over at Jiffy Lube, there's some poor girl sitting there thinking her car's gonna explode and calling her sister to get money and something, or the parents. And I'm like, yeah, Amanda, Fate should have made you. How does that song go? Yeah, it's a nice day. It's a little cool, but the snow melted off the mountains. But it's a good day to fish. I was trying to go to Tractor Supply and buy some, look for something. Man, if you see something cheap, you better buy it because I'm going to have to drive somewhere all the way that way in traffic. So I either got to clear out by X amount of time to beat the traffic or, yeah. Oh, where was I? So anyway, went to Napa, bought all the parts. Luckily, these guys are semi easy to work with. And so they go, you buy the parts, but it was almost $2,000 for dealer parts. And I'm like, you guys are nuts. So they're still going to charge me extra for the labor and stuff. But man, it's not. I think I'm going to be under 1,000 if I cross my fingers. Slight breeze. Only one guy over there working on a sailboat. The little guy fishing for minnows is over there. I don't know what the name of that bird is. Yeah, so it's been a crazy week. They tried to make me go broke. Oh, let's zoom back out. Yeah, they tried to make me go broke, but luckily we circumvented the system. A lot of layoffs, a lot of people applying for jobs. And I'm like, well, why did you quit your job? And then here's the one thing, the food stamp riots and everything. So anytime we lived in the poor neighborhood, and anytime somebody like lost a job, needed the system, wasn't working, applied for something, it was like $100, $200. But if you're from out of the country, that's a different story. So you follow them out of the store. They were they're usually in a new Sienna van. I'm like, man, how did they get a new Sienna van? And yeah, they just, and then they had a crazy balance, $2,000, $1,000. One guy was yelling at the poor lady. He had $4,000 in his debit or his EBT card. And I'm like, what? And she goes, yeah, I see it all the time. The clerk did. And I go, that's insane. Man, there's nothing on the screen. One white bass rolled through, and then that was it. Oh, there he is. What is it? Oh, got him. Yeah, they're hugging the bottom. Oh no. Using a treble hook. And usually this hook, one of them falls off by now. I need to go find a towel and the pliers. Hold on a minute. Ugh, fish slime. Clamp these right here. All right, guys, hold down the fort. All right, we're back. Whew. Where was I at? My story. Had to find some pliers. Oh, I have to get a rental car. And everyone gets moody like on day 3 of you driving them around or you interrupting. Monster. You interrupting anyone's day. Snap ring pliers work pretty good. All right, let's get back down there. Hitting the bottom, slender spoon, and a wax worm. Slender spoons are a little bit hard to see on the fish finder, but when the fish are finicky, they do actually pretty decent. Okay, where's my microphones? There we go. Now, there we go. Yeah, with some fishermen, you always scout out the area like a pelican. And they left early, so I'm thinking it's fall and it's cooling down, so I don't know where they went. Yep, so make sure your warranty has the car rental. They only pay like once they approve, make sure you get all the loopholes. Diagnosis is not covered. Loopholes, everything. So that was my excitement of the day. But I don't know if they quoted me like a 3,500 and they dropped it down to X amount. They were just trying to make me happy. Or, like, oh yeah, that's a good deal. Oh, speaking of broke, so we went to a dive bar. Pitchers were only $12, which wasn't too bad. So we took a sister and her, I guess her boyfriend and his acquaintance. It was pretty funny. So I usually try to go, what is it, standard 20%, maybe a little bit more on the tips. So we try to go, give everyone a fair tip. So we got a pizza, a couple of pitchers of beer. And usually the servers don't like you giving them quarters or whatnot. So, like, say the total is $30, and I think the total was $50 and $55.50. So usually they don't like you taking the 50 cents or whatever's left. And I go, huh. So I gave her 60, and then I asked my buddy, what's the going 20% on this check? And so he said I owed her about $5 or $6 more. So she brings back the change, 450. And then my sister, she thought she didn't want the quarters, but then she puts her hand out for the quarters because I said give her all of it. And my sister, because she handed my sister the money, and she actually wanted the 50 cents. And I'm like, man, I was like, the waitress wants the extra 50 cents. Usually they go, oh, okay, whatever. But she just holded her hand out, which it was like 22% what we tipped her. I was like, that was interesting. So then the boyfriend and his acquaintance over there playing pool, and they're both of these guys have been locked up, so they're telling their prison stories. And the one guy's like, "Remember when you go to bed, you hear a clank?" And I'm like, "Oh dear, dear, whatever." And so they're telling their old prison stories, and I'm like, so they're over there playing on the pool table, and it was like a minority neighborhood. Utah doesn't have too many minorities. And so the old school of this place was the railroad. So Ogden used to have all the dark people, the blacks and the Hispanics. So nobody wanted to live there. And so all the big time bands, there was the Great Salt Lake and there was a place called the Saltaire. So the Saltaire would host all these, remember the big bands? Oh, I can't remember what the old school 50s, whatever. And so we're in Ogden, and I go, that's a pretty chill place. You have all these old buildings with the old school bars and whatnot. And I guess the guys put down a quarter on the rail to say they wanted to play next. But the one guy, he takes the quarters and puts them in. And I go, what? So this is like a white Democratic neighborhood. And then my one army buddy, which I bring, he's over there drinking the beer. Picture, I sent a picture over to him by the pool table. He comes running back, and he goes, "They're taking a ruckus almost started for $1 worth of cool." And I'm like, "Oh dear!" But he comes running back, and then he tells a story. So two of these guys are like, they're almost like Vietnamese. There's a Myanmar somewhere over there, so they're Asian mix. And the white guy goes, "Where are you from?" I about lost it. You guys ain't from around here, are you? And I didn't know that one guy had like a big Utah tattooed on his head, and so I'm like, huh. Oh, that was funny. So two incidences where 50 cents and $1 in change was going to cause havoc. And I was like, let's get to the NBA. My rant on the NBA. So the old school, if you watch my videos, maybe about 8 years ago, I had a whole big jersey collection. Chopped it up, destroyed them, threw it away. NFL, NBA, some NFL, NHL, and so the old school. I'm used to like who's the good old school players. The Worm. So my top five. Well, Michael's top, but I used to like John Stockton, the Admiral, David Robinson, the Worm. Even though he didn't score anything, who had Sean Kemp. So almost every town you went to, you knew somebody on the team. I think it was 2 years ago that the Celtics were in the finals, and it looked like a WNBA game. And I'm like, what? How is this possible? How has it went downhill so fast? So now the gambling allegations come out, and I go, yeah, you can pull it off because there's hardly nobodies on any of these teams. Would Curry have made it back in the 90s, early 80s? I don't think so. LeBron might have. Yeah, so and then you get into all these conspiracy theories about Kobe. That Kobe was over at Diddy's house, and I'm like, so Diddy crashed the helicopter when they broke up? I don't like the Lakers. Yeah, even Derek Fisher. So there was always a clutch player that you knew that wasn't top notch, but you knew the you knew the lesser players. Boozer, Mark Eaton, Pimpin was up there, Scotty. But man, how many people lost money on betting NFL, NBA? That's insane. Worldwide. And they were fixing it. It was just the WNBA. I tried to watch a WNBA game. I'm like, it's like college basketball. College basketball women's is probably the most entertaining out of all the basketball to watch because I don't know any of them. Ooh, bump somebody down there. Wonder if they just like it still. I don't know too many gamblers. Luckily, here in our state, I don't. I think you have to use a VPN to gamble. But yeah, I know. I hear of kids doing this and that, but they're friends of a friend. I rarely run into them. Here, you have to go over to a sports book a state over, probably an hour and a half away. So, but I never got the over and under numbers and this and that. So luckily, I never got addicted to the sports books. Yeah, who was the greatest NBA player of all time? I think Jordan got it. So you look at the shoes. Who had the best shoes? So Jordan, and he collabed with so many different people. Kobe had ugly shoes, but he had a following. Remember the Stormtrooper shoes? They were big pieces of foam. Those were pretty, for its day, it was pretty decent. Who else? Shaq tried his own shoes, but never made it. I think that was with Reebok. Who else had some good shoes? I think that's Gary Payton, the glove. That was a decent shoe. The worm. The worm had almost like a hiking boot looking one. That was pretty good. Oh, let's see. Top messages, all messages. I keep forgetting to reset the messages. Dang, shout out to Black Rain. Haven't seen him in a while. Who is it? Leopard Gecko? Haven't heard from Leopard Gecko in a while. Usually he's on. Where was I? NBA. Yeah. I met John Stockton once. See, and John Stockton, they said he was one of the dirty players, but for his shortness and everything, and he survived a long time. Oh, who's the one that's still playing? Durant? He's like 65 or something. So now you know the NBA was going downhill. If That's just like the NFL. So you got the old school quarterback still in there. You're like, yeah, it's probably not a quality program if the senior sit, or if they can't replace some old geriatrics coaches. I watched a football game the other day, and I was like, who the heck is that? And it was like 25 or 35 years old, and I'm like, did he just watch Madden or something? Yeah, who was the old school football coaches that were decent, or even in the NBA? So Jerry Sloan, I'm here in Utah. Oh, who was the Chicago coach? Phil Jackson. Oh, what was that one guy? Kevin McHale. See, and then the NBA players started going to be coaches, and some of them weren't up to par. Rat tat tat. I think he's trying to drop the mount or the mast, or taking off the sails over there. Let's zoom in. There was a team of kids that bought a sailboat for $800, and they were out here, and they pulled the pin on the mast, and it was like a guillotine coming down. Boom! Luckily, everyone was out of the way, and then they swung over here and parked. And the one guy was touching the wire, and he goes, there was a thunderstorm close, and he's like, I'm getting shocked. I'm getting shocked. The static electricity was charging the mast. Oh man. I don't know what they named their boat, but they were pretty funny. Then they lost the cover, and I go, well, if you guys are university students, don't you guys have a big 3D printer over there? You can 3D print you something on there. That was hilarious. All right, back to fishing. Am I out of stories? Uh, I don't know. I think the no name grocery stores you might be able to hit. Dollar Tree is probably getting robbed daily because they don't have the cash registers. You're not by the door. I've seen a homeless guy walk out with the whole box of DVDs once, but man, you can only watch some of that crappy movies for so long. You had the old school cartoons, the old school, oh, what do you call it? The cowboy western shows. I'm gonna take a break, hit the LaCroix. Uh, Nothing on the fish finder. Oh, all right, let's get back to it. It's only like 5 feet of water. Let's try the bottom. Sometimes they don't move off the bottom. They're like me trying to reach the remote. It's like right out of your fingertips, but you're like a walrus on a rock. You don't want to roll off or stand up to go grab it. Yeah, nothing much going on. Oh, the carp tournament. I was wondering what the carp tournament's going to be here tomorrow. I haven't seen no carp jumping or anything. Forgot all about that. I was wondering why that green garbage can was over there. Yeah, they throw all the carps in there. Yeah, the good old carp tournament tomorrow. Yeah, nobody's moving around. Nobody's really fishing. Somebody's talking way over there. Maybe they're gonna try to fish. Mm, Sparky's barking. Dang, that lady's loud over there. Oh, speaking of loud, somebody got the air horn. Yeah, whatever happened to those YouTube prank videos? Remember you hook up the train horn and everything? Watch the fight videos. Remember there used to be fight videos? Everything's censored now. Yeah, it's going to be pretty interesting for the carp tournament tomorrow. If I was a betting man, I would probably be on the outside of the lake, maybe somewhere over there. Maybe by the tree. Ooh, the tree on the outside. That way you're just sitting in the shade. Maybe all the bugs are gone. And that's like a mosquito net magnet over there. Well, looks like we caught one. Mission accomplished. The guy's looking at me and saying, "What's he talking about?" Huh. Here comes another sailboater. Oh, he's hand twisting some hardware off the sail there. Shiver me timbers. Where's the one guy going? Oh, he's on the other side. Where's the noisy lady? Oh, she's still over there. She's not as excited. Oh, there was a big mark up top. Dang it. We're over here, people watching. That might have been the crappies. Beep, 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 beep. Somebody's running some heavy machinery over there. Forgot my chair. I know, it sucks when you're not in your own vehicle. And then someone else has to give you a ride. Inconvenience others. And I'm like, ugh. Today would have been a good day for the rocking chair. Man, I bought my rocking chair for 80 or $30. Current value is like $80 to $90. The folding rocking chair. Ugh. It's a little heavy, but that thing's comfortable and camping and fishing. What's everyone doing for the weekend? I wanted to go to the hot springs, but it's like 100 miles that way in rush hour traffic. See what time it is. Ooh, it's near the cutoff. Yeah, one fish, and we'll give it 7 more minutes. We're just pounding off the bottom, but no bueno. Uh-oh. Lady's being loud again. She's about 40, 45. Loud. Very interesting. Got a 45-year-old male walking on the sailboat. He looks semi-professional. Got a kid disassembling his sailboat. That's all the action today. I don't know at the other harbor, they kick them out at a certain time, but that's entertaining to watch. There's all vehicles breaking down while them pulling them out. Uh, One guy had to call the tow truck because his wheels went too far in the water. He couldn't go forward no more. He could go backwards in the water. Uh, what else was entertaining over there? Oh, they put a rope on the trailer, I guess, to drop it down further for the sailboat, and then the rope broke, and the trailer went in like 20 feet. Luckily, the harbor wasn't that deep. That was good. That was good entertainment. Then they had to tie the rope. They didn't have quality rope, so they just found anything tow ropes and pulled it back out. The only boat I would want is there's that circle one, and then you put a swivel chair in the middle, and then it's unsinkable or untippable. That sort of interests me, but other than that, I know there's crappie somewhere in between those slips over there. Maybe a float tube. But other than that, really no desire to go boating or jet skiing. Break out another 1,000. Anybody going to be at the carp tournament? I seen two promising marks, and that was it. So in an hour's time, two marks means the carps are going to be a little slow. No surfacing, no jumping. Yeah, what's that girl doing out there? Let's see if I can zoom in. See if I can get my pointer going. Right there, actually pretty decent. I can hear her all the way over here, so she's on the phone pacing. Back, they have a good guard gate now, but like 3 years ago, this one black truck would pull up lifted, and then about 10 minutes later, this Corolla would pull up, and they would always point towards the lake with the limo tent towards you. But I was like, oh, there's some cheating going on there. But now they started charging $10 to get in, and nobody ventures over here as much. I don't know if she's smoking, venting. I only dated one girl that was animated, a little Hispanic one. Spent, I think, easily an hour and 20 minutes arguing in a car. And I don't even know, I couldn't even tell you what we were fighting over. uh, good old days. And then she loved to drive with no insurance. And then she spent a few days in jail. So, in the dating scheme, you look at their vehicle, you check their driving record, if they're good drivers, have the proper insurance. Yeah, that was interesting. Yeah, it looks like we're coming to the end of closing time. We're trying to scout out for carp. Doesn't look like too many carp swimming under there. Usually they're about 2 to 3 feet off the bottom. Oh, a little more animated over there, but oh, here comes a truck. Remember how I said there's always a black truck in these cheating schemes? Somebody's being unfaithful. Oh, what was that one show? Cheaters? Oh, she have a mechanical breakdown? Oh, it's actually an undercover sheriff. What? Oh, she locked herself out. Oh, I don't have my lockout kit. Dang, not too many municipalities unlock it. Oh, here comes two. Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's the big door latcher. Oh, what do they call them? Holster sniffers? Badge bunnies? What else do you got? So it was a damsel in distress. She came out here to check out the scenery. All right, the final wrap up. If you're coming for the carp tournament, I'm not seeing very many marks that resemble a carp, so maybe out in the lake might be better action. Let's see how long it takes him to get it. I don't know what kind of car it is. I'm happy. Whoa, there was a little bit of weight on the line. I'm half decent. Getting in the cars. Used to be able to Slim Jim my old school car, 68 Ford Fairlane. Click, click. Yeah, looks like there it is. That wasn't too bad. 45 seconds. Is she giving him a high five? I'd give her a sobriety test. She has the smoker voice. Oh, there was a fish right there. What? Looked like a little minnow. Well, she's happy and all ended well. Huh. Well, we got to see an undercover cop. Or maybe he's just reporting for duty and. Hmm. Who says chivalry's dead? Well, at least she had her phone with her. Uh-oh. There's some bad boys action going on over here. Gunshots rang out like a bell. Ice, ice, baby. Dun, 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 dun. Maybe they got a stolen truck? Interesting. I wonder if I should sneak out while they're distracted. Or are they just looking? Oh, my poor butt. A couple live streams ago, they were shooting close to the marina. It was like bang, bang. Then the tripod fell over for added effect. Might have to bring my plate carrier out here. There was a discount store and they had some old school Kevlar expired. I go, that might not be a bad idea. Oh, well, we almost made it to an hour. 2 fish, no carps. Well, 2 carps on the window screen, possibly catfish. I think it's going to be a slow tournament tomorrow. All right, Uncle L out.